Greetings all! Today we will be examining the uncommon normal flying type Pokemon Rufflet, the Eaglet Pokémon, and its relatively rare evolution Braviary, the Valiant Pokémon. Though they might appear to blend in with many other Pokemon of their type, the members of the Rufflet family are powerful birds that can make good use of their impressive power to make an impact in close quarters combat. Rufflet are covered in silver-gray feathers with a white downy coat covering the top half of their torso and their head, though the feathers on their face show through this coat and help to frame their yellow beak, black eyes, and a large feather that acts as a crest with a red base and white tip. Their lower forms are dominated by their massive yellow legs, which each have 4 black talons, 3 in the front and 1 in the back for stability, that are capable of shredding through most basic protection with little trouble. Their evolved form, Braviary, have the same basic foot structure, but have much larger wings, and the silvery feathers have turned a darker shade on their underside, the top of their form being covered in red feathers with a layer of yellow and blue coloration on the tip of their tail feathers. Their downy feathers are now isolated to their head, where they form a sort of crest, with small ones at the base of their neck, and a series of red and white feathers covering their face area, with a single speck of blue at the edge of their forehead near their beak. The members of the Rufflet family are surprisingly unique among birds in that both members are always male no matter what. Though this may seem alarming to some, there is a perfectly reasonable explanation behind it. Unlike most other life forms, Braviary are able to produce offspring asexually in the wild. This is because, while they have both X and Y chromosomes, Braviary possess an internal anatomy containing both male and female sexual parts. This grants them the benefit of being able to fertilize themselves and essentially produce genetic clones, while still granting them the ability to father children with other species of Pokemon. The presence of male chromosomes, however, prevents Braviary from fathering any children aside from ones created from their genetic material alone, so there is no way for Rufflet to inherit egg moves from a different father. As amazing as this ability is, Braviary can only produce eggs a couple times during their entire lifespan because, as they are primarily males and their general anatomy is typically skewed towards exhibiting those associated sexual characteristics, they are not able to give birth as efficiently as females. The only reason that both Rufflet and Braviary are even somewhat common is that Braviary are excellent parents, as they take care of their eggs and watch over them without eating until they hatch. In addition to this, these creatures are noted for their fantastic eyesight and are able to use moves with special effects more potently than one might expect normally, with both Rufflet and Braviary having access to the keen eye and sheer force abilities as base abilities. In addition, Rufflet are quite rambunctious by nature and can be quite aggressive, with the most aggressive of them all having access to Hustle as a hidden ability, while Braviary that are prideful and willing to put their intelligence aside for the sake of pure aggression and retaliation against those that would dare to try and mess with them mentally, can have Defiant as a hidden ability. As far as the stats are concerned, in the case of Braviary, it is noted that they share in common with many basic bird Pokemon a general lack of strong stats in many areas, especially regarding their special attributes, but they at least have some decent physical defenses to them and are able to make the most of their power with exceptionally high physical strength and a great deal of stamina that can allow them to take punishment fairly readily and make themselves a threat worth fearing. So their base defense stat is above average for a fully evolved normal type Pokemon, and the base HP and attack stats are above average for fully evolved normal and flying type Pokemon. They might not have a ton of bells and whistles to them, but these birds can still strike with great force and make themselves into powerful fighters worth preparing for in any combat scenario. Rufflet are natural-born warriors and are quite strong despite the fact that they are still hatchlings, oftentimes proving this by challenging their parents to a fight shortly after hatching to gain their acceptance, and in turn making them a top choice for bird keepers in places like the Unova, Alola, and Galar regions. Unfortunately, their relative rarity makes them harder to get a hold of than other available flying-type Pokemon. Furthermore, Rufflet chicks are a bit harder to train than most other birds because they possess a very headstrong nature and can be stubborn to a fault. Rufflet will eagerly and recklessly attack opponents of all shapes and sizes without any regards to their own safety, growing stronger with every injury and episode of fainting, even if they end up bawling their eyes out with every loss as well. For Rufflet, the sooner they evolve the better, even if it means being reckless in battle at first before they eventually learn to pick their opponents more wisely. Rufflet tend to rely on their powerful legs and strong talons to deal considerable damage in battle, slashing their opponents repeatedly with them at close range. While this is a useful tactic against many foes, Rufflet are essentially walled by heavily armored foes because of this. Outside of battle, Rufflet can also use their claws to crush hard berries before pecking at them, allowing them to savor berries that are too durable for most birds to crack open, though it is noted that they are still carnivores at heart and more often apply these same tactics when hunting prey like Shelder, whose shells they can likewise crack open for an easy meal. Braviary are prized for their incredible physical strength and immense vitality, as they can easily fly while clutching a car in their talons and possess such a brave disposition that they fear nothing, not even death. Braviary are often looked at with awe by their flying-type peers and humans in general, as their sheer pride, bravery, and combat prowess is unparalleled, and they will almost never retreat from a fight even if they are injured. As such, the more scars these creatures possess on the front of their body, the more respected they are by their peers, as it is a symbol of them not backing down from a fight. Likewise though, those with scars on their back are mocked by their peers for their cowardice. Regardless of the situation, Braviary will do everything in their power in order to help their friends out in battle, even if it means putting themselves in harm's way. As a result, the people of the Alola region in particular have come to refer to the beast as the hero of the sky out of the deep respect they hold for it. This is somewhat ironic though, as Braviary have been known to gather in large flocks to attack humans at times where they are recklessly disturbing their habitats, oftentimes with few survivors left to tell of the tale. This, combined with the fact that they can often be hot-headed and belligerent, is what generally makes them a poor choice for transportation over Pokemon like Corviknight in the Galar region. Although Braviary are rather limited in terms of the variety of attacks they can learn, they can perform powerful physical strikes far more effectively than most other birds, and can learn the Sky Attack move with a bit of artificial help. Of course, Braviary are still like their pre-evolved form in that they prefer to use their huge talons as their primary weapon, leaving them somewhat walled against armored foes. Thankfully, Braviary can learn the devastating superpower attack immediately after evolving, so they can compensate for this and ultimately prove to be difficult opponents to handle in the air. Though they may not appear to have much going for them at the surface compared to other basic bird Pokemon, the members of the Rufflet family are fairly strong creatures that can definitely make good use of their sharp talons to tear apart those that dare to challenge them. It might take a while for these birds to reach adulthood, but that can only make the results more than worth it once one sees the sheer power that is at their disposal. Just do yourself a favor and make sure that you give these patriotic birds the respect they deserve if you ever encounter one, or they'll gladly show you the kind of power they have after lifting your car skyward before dropping it down from high above, and potentially right on top of you. Thank you all for watching this video. It is always an honor to be able to speak with you all on the subject of Pokemon in a way that brings me great joy and happiness in my work. If you would like to keep tabs on past and future work, click that subscribe button, check out my work on DeviantArt, and don't be shy about following me on Twitter, where you can find pertinent announcements on upcoming work before it is officially posted. Links to both can be found in the video description. If you would like to support my work and help Miguel and I continue to produce more content for you and improve upon our presentation, please visit us at my Patreon page, which you can also find a link to in the video description.
Yeah, no.
With that, I thank you for watching and I wish you well.